Welcome to Jollof and Fiction, home of African literature and stories, the kind that warm your heart like a fresh pot of jollof. Today, you're tuning into a recorded session of our online book discussions, so sit back, relax, and join the conversation.
This lady literally went through trauma all her life. Imagine losing your mom, and then you have a very... I found her father to be very useless, because why would you make a child feel like they are literally trying to check if they are worth, like their life is worth it because their mom died while giving birth to them. And there was one line that really broke me when it came to Yejide's story, page 79, when she said, "These days I tell myself that is why I stretch to accommodate every new level of indignity, so that I could have someone who would look for me if I went missing." And I nearly shed a tear for her, because at that point you realize how first of all, she had a very messed up view of what family and what love should be. It was not like family. It's family is something you just love unconditionally. You should not, be worthy of the love before you receive the love yet. And then for the father to basically just want to have kids, because when you have a large family, people will look for you when you go missing. Like it was a bit silly, like you're having them for company. And then when she had that thought, basically, it felt like she was really lonely. Like she felt really lonely. And when it was her and the husband against the mother-in-law, she felt like she could still, chest the whole insult. But when she felt like the husband, Akin, had left her, she felt a lot more lonely. And then her desperation for having a child just skyrocketed. So I felt like her feeling lonely was part of the reasons why she felt very desperate to have a child. Aside the fact that the mother-in-law was putting pressure on her, there was this loneliness she also really felt. Yes. Also wickedness, yes. All right. My next question. So my next question is, Akin lied because he loved Yejide. Do you think it was romantic or ridiculous? Akin lied because he loved her. Because at a point it was the reason he kept telling himself that he loved her too much. He lied to Dotun. He convinced Dotun to also lie to her because he loved her. Do you think it was romantic or ridiculous? Okay, Mesoma.
Okay,
Mesoma, you can speak.
So, can we hear me? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so I don't see Akin's love, in quotes, as love, because you can't tell me you love me. We started dating. You knew right from the time that we started dating that you cannot get your stuff up, that you are not capable of having kids, even though he started taking treatment. But you can't tell me that we are doing a relationship, even follow me to go and do riot and everything. We have been together through thick and thin, even when you broke up with your old girlfriend. And you are telling you cannot even tell me, give me that courtesy and let me know that you are impotent too. At least if you told her right from then that he's impotent, and she was like, what's the way forward, she would have known what she was getting herself into, even if she ended up breaking up with him. But you cannot tell me, and after how many years, it's as if your in-laws are now coming, they're arranging wife for you. You know that you are the problem, like you are the working problem. It's not as if you don't know. You are aware. Your whole mental guinea is aware that I'm impotent. You allow them to go and marry second wife for you. You still not come and use your hand and kill the woman because you claim that you love only Ejide. You now come and arrange with your brother, your blood brother that is aware of the sin that you are committing, to come and be sleeping with your wife, and you said you discussed this with her. The Lord, you have mercy on Akin. That is not even love. it's not even infatuation. It's just my mother said I should get married. I want to marry you kind of love that he has, because you cannot tell me that you love somebody like that and you hid this important part of yourself from the person. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Resoma. Mokut and the rest that are typing. Unfortunately, I can't read out. I don't think I'm allowed to read out some of the things, but I'm also saying the text, and you guys exactly on point. But let's hear from Lambert. Lambert, unmute yourself.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jennifer. I just want to first of all appreciate you for a very concise question. Grooming, lying, and manipulation, narcissism is not always violent. It's not always pronounced and visible, like aggressive. There is subtle narcissism. There is disguised evil in the name of love. So it's not just when you see someone hitting a lady. You can groom someone with evil. Akin seems like such a manipulative human being. Even when the doctor asked, how is your sex life? Then you now held her hands and said, it's normal. Like, you could see the evil. So it's evil can be cute as well. Like when we first saw Chucky and then they repaired him in Child's Play. Nice looking doll, even Chucky's bride. So like it may appear like cute and innocent, but even in the author's writing, you could still see the extent to which he could beat a brother that he asked to sleep with his wife by himself. Just goes to show that the guy is full of himself. But you may not have really seen it from the beginning. But as you read further, you'll be like, I don't like this Akin guy. Always the victim, always the one that is trying. He's the good guy. He's the one that is taking tests to save his marriage. He's working on himself. He's doing something. People have a way of justifying. Everybody's right in their own eyes. So maybe if he ever thinks, am I deceiving this girl? Then he now justify it with, I'm working hard. I'm doing all I can to treat this rubbish. I don't think it was romance at all. It was purely ridiculous. Purely ridiculous. And then I'm not a very gray person. Most of the times I'm black and white. It's not, sometimes people say most things are not black and white. There's gray. I totally agree. But sometimes in some certain situations, some things are black and white. And in this particular Akin's case, I'm just seeing him like a guy that I don't know if he loved her. I don't know if he saw her helpless. A girl whose father died and the entire step family hates her. So he's just coming in to save the day, knight in shining armor. Even at her father's funeral, he was the only family she had that held her hand. I don't know if he had a over-glorified self-importance in her life and felt like she needed him. Because if it was genuine love, just tell the person from the beginning. And I think that Yejide would have still married him. That's what I think, that Yejide would have still married him and they would have now both fought it. I think the girl truly loved him, but why keep her in the dark? That's my take.
Yes, thank you so much, Lambert. I love how you literally pointed it out, because at the beginning of the story, you may be tempted to pity Akin, and then you see how we developed. I would eventually tell you how I took note of the timeline. The moment when, unless you have no heart, you can no longer be fooled by Akin. Well, let's hear from Olivia. Olivia, you can unmute yourself and speak. Okay, I don't know if Olivia is still here. Daniel, Okoli Daniel, let's hear from you. Then after you, Nabas.
Hi, I'm actually here. Sorry, my phone was misbehaving. Okay, so I was looking for something. Yeah, good evening, everyone. I was looking for something I wanted. I was looking for a scripture. I don't know. I think that was the first thing that came to mind when you asked that question. So I was looking for this scripture that talked about love and everything. So, and all I can say is that is not love. I don't even know what to call it. Like, I wanted to say maybe it's obsession, but I don't think it is as well, because it was too wicked. And the fact that you knew that you were the problem and you couldn't tell her is it sums up the fact that it's not love. And I feel like, you know, when we love someone, we actually have to let the person go, or, you know, not allow the person suffer. But the fact that you could watch her suffer for years, you know, all the trauma, everything she went through from your family, the kneeling down, because, you know, at the beginning of the book, she talked about how she would kneel for hours because the family will come and give sermons, and she will be smiling, the smile for this, the smile for that. And you watched her go through all that. Like, it is so crazy. And then I feel like at some point, yeah, the moment I found out he was a problem was when there was this subtle part where the author made mention of that, and that was when I knew that Akin actually knew what he was doing. All the care and everything was just a way to make her stay. And just like Tahila said, you cannot, narcissism is not really something you can see immediately. It's always in those subtle, you know, look, the words, the affirmation, the care the person gives to you, because you can imagine what it means for a man to be fine that you're not pregnant, and then in your mind you're like, oh, this man loves me so much, he doesn't even want to bother sleeping with the new wife, nothing. Like, you really think he loves you, but honestly, this guy has just been gaslighting you and manipulating you all too. So I don't even think it's love. It's not obsession. It's not infatuation. It's nothing. It's just pure wickedness. Because what would you call that? You can't do that to someone you love. And then imagine if you think, I think what I would say love is if you think something you do to someone you claim to love is okay to be done to, let's say, your family, your sister, for example, then I don't know. Then that is where you see men's double standard coming, and you find out that most men who actually claim to love their wives only love them because the situations and the tables have not been turned. So I really think it's not love. It was just outrightly wicked, and for whatever reason. So yeah, I love her.
Thank you, Olivia. So yeah, was it really love? Yeah, you do beg the question. I don't think it was love as well. But let's also hear from Daniel, then Abbas, then very quickly. I think someone else raised their hand. Very quickly, promise. So Daniel, you can unmute yourself.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh.
Daniel,
I don't know if anyone can hear me.
We can hear you. You can go ahead.
Okay. The book, I could just see, I saw like pure wickedness, not love. Because how will you claim to love someone and make that person pass through a whole lot, you know, like manipulating the person? And that's a lot. And again, I think like he just used her vulnerable side, or her, like, call it soft side or whatever, to like his advantage or something like that. But man, I would say I did not see love. What I saw was just like wickedness and someone being manipulative and all. Yeah.
But yes, thank you. Truly, he was manipulative. He was, at this point, we can't deny that he was manipulative. Nabas, then promise. Let's hear from you.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. So I don't think maybe he, in his own definition of love, keeping that secret from Yedide was love. But when I was reading this, I remember a senior friend of mine. He was telling me his story of how he got married to his wife, and I was just 17. at the time he was already grown and he was married. He told me that when the time he met his wife, he told the wife he wants to marry her. The woman said that was when I even knew what amenorrhea means. I think it's a condition where a girl has irregular period because she's kind of slim or something. So, and the prospect of her getting pregnant is very low. So when he mentioned to the lady, it's the man telling me now, he shared the testimony in church that when he mentioned to the lady that he would like to marry her, she came clean and said, I have this condition. So if you're marrying me, you have to accept the fact that we might never have a child. And he said he thought about it for a long time. And after a while, he went back and said, I'll marry you, whether or not to have a child. And then after they got married, a year later, they had their child. I think a year or two later, they had their child. I'm saying that is love, the honesty, the sincerity. So you know what you are going in for in the marriage. Just if you're entering this marriage, you know that people might not have kids, no problem. I think that is love in its base state. So when I was reading this thing with Akin and Yedid, I was like, what is this? Because at 17, somebody already told me what it's like to enter a relationship when you know that you people have things like faults, flaws. Do you understand? So when I was reading this story, I was like, what kind of nonsense is this now? This guy should just tell this lady, and if the lady really loves him, she will stay. That's my take on it. But that thing that happened between Yedid and Akin, that was not love. That's foolishness. That's wickedness in high places. I don't know how else. If I had a bottle and he was here, I'll break his head. That's all I can say. It was so annoying.
Thank you so much. Promise, yes, let's hear from you.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, the question was it romantic or horrible or terrible or something like that? So I'm not here to defend love. I'm here to defend romance to an extent. Now, I agree with everything everybody has said about Akin, but just to add to that, to just give a balance to that, I want to take into different contexts. The first one is the kind of person that Akin was raised by. He was raised by a mom who taught Yejide to learn. She taught her an exaltation that she would kneel and sing to her son every morning. So he was raised to feel like, he was all perfect, and he was raised to act perfectly. So given that context of how he was raised, then we can, because that's your problem, man. But as I was saying, given that context, he could not emotionally deal with his erectile dysfunction, and he did not know how to express that. That's not a problem, or that's not like, I'm not trying to defend that. I'm trying to say that he also gave romance in the sense that he was able to tell his brother to sleep with his wife, even though that pained him, not because he wanted a child, but because he wanted to give her hope of having a child. He also eased her life in different ways. When he said, okay, take this car, go to school. I don't want you doing this. I don't want you doing that. And we could see romance at different points where he truly believed that he loved her. And so what I'm trying to say is I'm not defending him. I'm saying that you cannot take that context of one side and just say he did not love her. People express love in different awful and terrible ways, but I cannot discount their feelings or their experiences just because of that. Thank you.
Thank you. If I promise, if I'm ever going for any arguments or any fight, I would definitely bring you. Your confidence is outmatched. I love that you spoke last, but there are people who now want to say something. So very quickly, please, less than a minute, Lambert and Mukut. Before I say anything, I don't know if you want to respond to lovely Promise, or if you want to.
No, sorry, I don't say anything. My hands were just up.
Okay, so Mukut, and then I don't know if Chiamaka's hand is up. Mukut.
Okay. So I just want to respond to something that we have. I don't know whether we are confusing ourselves. Akin was a bare minimum kid. All those things that he was doing, giving Yejide car to go to school, opening bare minimum. Like, what else are you supposed to be doing? So that cannot be classified as romance to me. Like, I don't understand. This is not even boyfriend, this is husband. Bare minimum. I mean, I don't know what he was. I don't know that his mother loved him enough to instill how to love another person to him. Do you get? So all those things he was doing for you today was not romantic.
Yeah, I get.
Sorry, please, whoever is logged in with the Jollof account should let Jessica in. That's Judith, please. She just sent me a DM now that she's been trying to log in.
All right. Thank you, Mokut. Chiamaka, please, just 30 seconds. I really want to give like my own analysis of this before I move on to the next question.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me? Good evening. Hope you all are
Yes.
I just wanted to say that I did not understand because I was having network issues and I logged back in and I was now hearing someone saying that even though that he loved her to the extent of allowing the brother like I did not get it. Please, I want to direct your question to Dr. Promise. Please, how does that define love and not delusion? Because me, I did not understand. I thought that baby they were acting like he was crazy. I never ever thought he loved that. There was no romance in it. But I start to be corrected. Please. Thank you. Please.
Thank you, Chiamaka. So yeah, let me give my own analysis of this question. I would first of all quote from page 85, where it says, "Besides, what would be left of love without truth stretched beyond its limit, without those better versions of ourselves that we present as the ones that exist, as the only ones that exist?" And at that point, I was like, "Oh, it's true. Akin is not a bad guy," because truly, I mean, there are times when I've actually lied to make myself seem better to those who I love. Like it's like a natural instinct. You want to always this self-preservation. Now, let me take you all to page 205. Chapter 32 was really what exposed Akin for me. Thinking it was possible that Yejide wasn't as vulnerable as I had imagined, and Dotun wasn't as persuasive as I'd believed, and I would have a chance to tell my brother that I had changed my mind. So when he made that deal with Dotun, it wasn't necessarily because he truly loved her and respected her. A huge part of him thought, oh, she was very vulnerable. She was someone who is very pliable. He can always just trick her into, sleeping with he thought both of them, to me, he thought both of them were vulnerable. He lied to both Dotun and Yejide. Now, I think the part that really did it for me was what is this place? It was a very short statement, but it was the part when they had they were protesting and the police came and started shooting and they had to run, and then he turned back, and that was when he realized he didn't have VTD, and then the whole thing he went through breaking down and telling her, oh, he could never lose her. At that point, that was when I realized this guy doesn't care about this girl, because how someone you're about to get married to, someone you truly love, how is that in such an intense moment you ran and left her? Running and leaving, if I was dating someone and something like that happened and you ran and you leave me, like you run and leave, it's enough for me to question our relationship and think of breaking up, because I would be so scared at that point. This is someone who should be your quote-unquote protector, the whole thing about men protecting, and then something like that happens and this foul he ran and left her, and he didn't even realize she wasn't with him until he was in a somewhat safe place, and then he turned and he didn't see his babe. At that point was when I realized, no, this guy really he really doesn't care for this girl. And then finally, I think the last moment that really just broke the last straw that broke the camel's back was when in page 207, when he said, my tears had nothing to do with Shedide. I didn't give a damn about how she felt that day. And I was like, wow. It was, I don't want to say it brought out his true self, but there's always a big part of you that you can't always hide forever. And I think someone once defined love as wanting the good of another for the sake of the other, meaning when you love someone, you're not really thinking about you, you're thinking about them. And how I use it to question my love these days is, if I love someone, if this person doesn't love me back, if this person doesn't even care about me, would I still want good for them? Would I still want them to have the best in life? And I think Jesus, we really need to just learn how to love from Jesus Christ, because to me, Akin he did not love her at all. A huge part of his relationship with her was just very self-centered and very selfish. All right, Lambert, is your hand still up, or should we move on to the next question?
Yes, please. For just a second, I just wanted to maybe defend Akin just a slight bit on that one. Adrenaline pumps, okay? Adrenaline rushes through your being, and even a mother could just run away at the sound of a bomb or a gunshot from her own child. The next second, you're saying, "Where's my child?" So that's the only time I want to vindicate him. Maybe in those thoughts of, at that moment, I didn't care for any other person. I just heard gunshots and I fled for my life before I remember that, oh, I have a brother and we're working together. So I think that's the vibe of what's going on there. When flight or fight hits, is not necessarily the time to show so much emotions. I'm not like saying he shouldn't have remembered how, but just in that split second, I think that's what the author was trying to express. Such chaos, you may not really remember till you are a bit calm.
True, I get where you're coming from, but I think what maybe shocked me was how just before he ran, he was having this like romantic session where he was like thinking about her, and he was sure that this was who he wanted to spend the rest of his life with. So, but I also get where let me not use that one scenario to judge Akin. So instead, I'm using every other scenario in the book: his lies, his schemes, everything. All right. So the next question: have you ever seen someone do something crazy just to keep a relationship? So is there anyone you've witnessed? If it's your personal story, please let us know. I really love gist. But have you ever witnessed someone do something very crazy? In this case now, Akin is very crazy. Everybody in this case is crazy. Did something crazy. All right, Chiamaka, let's hear.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm going to say a very controversial thing. People do crazy things for love, and if you ask them, they'll be like, "Oh, I love this person so much, that's why I'm going to do this." And my case study is going to be something that's been bugging me since 3 days now, that the whole matter has resurfaced. I think that's one thing, because, for example, there's this case going about Ochanya and the whole fact that the auntie knew about what the father did to the girl. And what did she do? She kept quiet because she loved the husband and the son so much that she doesn't want them to go to prison. But the girl could die because, she's already dead. Why did they bring it up again? So yeah, people do crazy things for love. Thank you. In the name of love, not that they love the person, but in the name of love. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Daniel, let's hear from you.
Wow. Yeah, people do crazy things for love. I have done crazy things for love. And it means a lot, like there was this time, I knew like, oh, I love this person, but I wasn't ready for this, being in a relationship with that person. So what I did was like, okay, like I didn't ask that girl out, she asked me out. I was like, okay, let's just keep on, riding on this. Yeah, like just because I love the girl and I didn't want her like, okay, to be with another person. So I had to like lie, I don't know how to put it. I had to lie to just be, to like have back to myself or something like that, yeah.
Danny, I really would have loved a lot more detail, but I think I got the general idea. You lied for love. Wow. Okay, Lambert, let's hear from you.
Thank you. It was exactly what I think was Mesoma that said it, right? Exactly what Mesoma said about the very interesting Nigerian women. That generation, that particular generation, is well with them. Very, very, very well with women that would welcome a daughter with bruises on her face from a home where she had just been finished beaten, and then instantly send her back in order to keep the marriage. So I think that it's a mindset thing, and I also think that it depends. People give as much love as they have within themselves. You can't give what you don't have. And that's why it's very risky to date someone who has stocked up trauma, because you'll be busy fixing a lot of baggages in the relationship. If you're willing to do so, go right ahead. But the best person to date is someone that loves themselves, that is whole, I must say. I'm not saying broken people don't have a chance at love. I'm just saying you now have to be ready to sacrifice and commit so that this person can get back up on their feet. But people give as much love as they have. It's like a mirror reflecting people's ideologies and people's mindsets. To someone, love is when even some people that have this twisted mindset of, if the man has not beat you. I saw a very interesting video on Instagram where the lady was reporting to the female counselor that her husband hit her. So the woman now said, okay, so who else wants to beat you if not your husband? Is the only person whether it's permitted by God to die. It was very crazy. It was a very crazy mindset. But you'll be so amazed at what is going on in people's mind. So I think that it's all about mindset. What you term as crazy for love, in some people's universe is completely normal and wholesome and healthy, like our very wonderful mothers. So I just feel like everybody should just heal and become whole, so that when one whole person meets another whole person, and then two people have sense, and then it's a whole relationship. It's not like one person is half, another person is quarter, then half and quarter is now trying to make up two. It's just stressing everybody out. Everybody should heal and fix their mindset properly so that everybody will be okay.
Thank you so much. Yes, everyone should heal. Really, I wish I could just announce it to every single Pringle out there, because imagine working so long on yourself and you're trying to work on being a better person and you're resolving trauma issues, and then you enter a relationship, you're going to enter with one man child that has very unresolved issues, and all of a sudden you're in a very useless relationship. So yes, Tehila, thank you so much for the advice. Everyone, go and work on yourself, because we can't be looking for our soulmates, and what is in the streets is mess upon mess. So yeah, honestly, I think personally, I don't think I've done anything so crazy for love, aside the fact that I literally traveled to see an ex, and I didn't tell my sister, who was my roommate, but I did tell my friends. I told everybody that I was going to this place. Which it wasn't really crazy. It was just like, slightly rebellious. But the things I've heard others do, all in the name of love, and it's usually Nigerian women from a certain generation. And it's very, very silly. There was literally one. This one wasn't a Nigerian woman. It was a black. It was this, I think, Black Americans. This lady was proud, saying that she used to iron this stupid husband was a pastor. She would iron his clothes while he goes out, and he would, go out to see his side chicks. And she knew he was going out to see his side chicks or his girlfriend, and she would gladly iron his clothes, get him ready for his side chicks. And it was, man. And they were so proud saying this, talking about how this is how you should, treat your man. You draw him back to you. Now he's no longer cheating. Praise be to God. Like how? So yes, I think I found that very, very crazy. Mesoma, yes, you can speak.
Okay. The only time that somebody will agree that they did something crazy for love is when the love have clear from their eyes, like when they can see again. Because if somebody is gisting you what they are doing in relationship, and you be telling this person, come out from this place that you are, the fire will burn you, they'll say no, people don't understand. See, we're in love, there's how this thing is when the love clear in their eyes and you're playing the tape for them that they will agree that they were really, really crazy inside the relationship. Because tell me why I will use my money to go and see man that ghosts me. I carry my money, I enter transportation. I went to go and see somebody that ghosts me. She and I have come back and my eye have opened. I'm not asking myself what was I up. It's very simple, because you cannot tell me that I am inside a relationship and you're opening your mouth to tell me that I'm doing crazy things that should come out from there. God, allow me to do my crazy things in peace. When you come out and your eye will clear, that's when you will now know, okay. It's true. Money I would have used to do something. I can't use and see ma. It's very simple. You cannot advise somebody in love. So Taylor, carry your advice and be going. Thank you.
Thank you. So in fact, I love how we are giving ourselves advice. Don't ever make the mistake of advising someone in love until they're out of that relationship. Just let them continue, okay? Be praying for them. When they eventually come out, you're like, see you, I told you, this is what happen. But as long as they're in that relationship, you would advise it first. Whether it's married couples, boyfriend, girlfriend, they will go behind your back and discuss you as the monkey, like trying to break their relationship. So yeah, Olivia, let's hear from you.
Hi everyone again. So on this issue of love, well, I think personally I don't think I have, but then I've heard a couple stories, and let me just share one day. So I know this person who knows that this guy is about to get married, like knows literally that he even has a child, he had a child, has a baby mama, like, and they are really going to get married. He knows that this guy is a chronic shit. You know what I mean? Chronic, but this is a chronic illness right now. But she still says, I like him, I love him. And I'm like, how, girl? Like, how? Like, where is your senses? And at this point, even if eventually they break up, I don't know if she will even believe she did something crazy, because when you talk of it, you'll be like, I like him, and even though I might not marry him, whatever, I still don't think it was bad, or it was, not good while it lasted. So, like, okay, something happened a very long time. She was like, okay, what's going to make me happy is if he texts me on my birthday. And I'm like, so if I get you something on your birthday, you're not even happy. She's like, no, I want him to text me. That's the best gift. I'm like, you know what? I'm praying for him not to text you so that you come back to your senses and know that he deserves better than it. Next morning, the guy texts her, and she came and told me, he texted me. They were quarreling, they were having an issue, so he texted me, and God obviously did not answer your prayers. She was like, in your face. you know this way they try to say in your face is something like that. So, oh God, that was the day I said, never will I open my mouth to advise anybody in relationship or in love. So, because it doesn't work. Like, I don't know, it doesn't work. So, let me keep my peace and my advice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I just saw the one about the guy that literally he resigned to go and speak to. Oliver, are you still talking? Okay. So I just saw the one about the guy that resigned to see his girlfriend, only for the girlfriend to serve him hot breakfast. I think that is very well deserved. If you can't use your sense, you don't even deserve to have a job or be in a relationship. Well deserved. Is anyone else raising their hand? Daniel, do you still have something to say? Can we move to the next question? Okay. Uzoma, you can unmute yourself and speak. Uzoma, my God, Uzoma, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, I think people do. My own is very funny because this person is this traditional man.
Jesus Christ, I don't know what I enter. You know all those kind of people that are thinking, I will have 2 sons and my wife must have 2 sons. All those, I don't even know how it was possible. This person is obviously very, very educated, but very poorly informed about women's bodies. Like, hey, Jesus Christ. And this person ghosts my life. I don't know. Me that is a wicked, angry feminist. I don't even know what I'm doing with this kind of person. Person ghosted me for 6 months, texted me back. Jesus Christ. I was following him, stalking him on all his social media accounts. Jesus. I've not even done all these things to even make money or grow myself. See me following, stalking one human being. When I was telling my friend, and she was just like, you did all this, you with your poker mind. I do not believe. Please, let's just go to the next question. You were whipping himself.
I'm so sorry. The shame that you would feel at that point when, like, you yourself, you can see what you do and like, how did I do this? They hold me. How did I do this? Okay, Mokut, you can speak. Then after you, I'll drop the next question.
Okay. Excuse me. So I'm going to try and summarize this just as, I don't know. This is not about me, but I feel like you guys will love this one. So there's this babe. She relocated to Canada, and then her family member was paying her fees, right? And then the man stopped paying her fees. Then she now found this other man. They entered the relationship together, and this other man decided that, he's going to pay her fees for the year. It's about $10,000 or thereabouts. And, they'll get married so that she can sort out her permanent residency and plenty things. Inside all this promise, he did give her the money. Inside this relationship that the guy was cheating on her, was texting an ex-girlfriend. This thing carried on for a year. She found out about it and he kept advising her to leave him. She will not leave him, she'll tell him, she will have multiple conversations with him. Anyways, the thing rolled over to the point where he sued her, reported her that she doesn't have a permanent residency and her visa is about to expire. Many things. She got pregnant inside this relationship. She had an abortion. After she had the abortion that she didn't want to have, the guy was like, he doesn't want the child. She wanted to keep the child. She now had an abortion. The man now came and said that, he's not marrying her again. That his family member said that she's not a good person from where to where. Sorry, do you know that after all these things and many more that happened last week, she went back to sleep with him? You guys, please, women are doing things in this life. I don't know why you're not doing things in this life. I want to do things in this life, man. You guys are darling.
See, at this point, I think we need to study the brains of those in relationships, because the stupidity has to be studied. I don't know whether we just switch off our brain. I really, at this point, I'm beyond shocked, because what the hell? My God. Oh well, let's go to the next question. I think I should have it copy and paste. Yes. So the next question is, do you think keeping secrets ever protects love or only destroys it? And I'm sending this question because I literally had someone who I really respect give me advice. It was very, very lovely. And this was, I think, some months back. And then I read this book, and now I'm like, wait, am I sure I'm actually in the right place when it comes to this advice? So but I want to hear from you guys. Do you think keeping secrets can ever protect love, or does it only destroy it? Yes, Miss Mama.
Secret keeping has never saved any relationship, friendship, marriage, relationship, even. Keeping secret is not the way to go at all. Just say it. If they want break up, make everybody break up, go down their papa name. If it not work, let it not work. It's worse. In fact, it's not even worse when the way Akin carried the secret to his marriage, he saw that the thing destroyed him. It destroyed him, and she was, at the end of the day, she was only there for the children. She didn't even start liking the children again. In the end, you saw how the first child, she was very, very happy. when she now discovered the guy had sickle cell and then he died, it was more like she started detaching gradually, and then the final one now came. I don't even forget her name. And then the whole thing that she wrote to me when she came, and then he just called and was like, she's unconscious. She has already concluded that the girl was going to die. Like nothing. First one don't die, second one don't die, the third one waiting, the third one want to. She left to just left out of his life. Me, I feel like she coming for that burial then was just to fulfill all righteousness, to show face, because if her daughter was not alive, I'm not sure anything for carry and come that just way she come that time. Secrets would never save anyone. But I feel like she would have given him a chance if he actually explained after she confronted him. But then Oga just played it and was like, and then she left. Secrets not the help, I beg.
My God, thank you so much. You have heard of me of the part that truly, like, it shattered what was left of my heart. Watching this book, that was one thing that was very lovely about this book. The storyline wasn't as shocking as like a very new original thing I've never heard before, but at the same time it was so well written that it had me glued to the very end. Yes, Lambert, let's hear from you.
I'm sorry, Abdul is making me laugh so much. Abdul said secret skill level. Oh my God. Like you are the person responsible for blowing up an orphanage or something, then you later get babe. Oh my goodness. Okay, so about secrets, I feel like everybody at the end of the day may have things that maybe they are not so comfortable to share. They just keep to themselves, but that is harmless. As long as, for me, I believe that as long as it affects the next person, your partner, in the slightest, tell them.
Don't forget to hit the follow button and tap on the notification icon to stay updated. That's all for today's episode. To join our book club or stay updated on future discussions, follow us on Instagram and X at Jollof Book Club, Jollof with a double F. And thank you so much for listening.